What's up, guys? Welcome to Run It Back with Blair Bomber, and it's a little bit too early to be recording a podcast. It's 9 a.m. And you know about this? The thing about what I'm trying to say without stuttering is it doesn't matter because this isn't really a podcast that I've already recorded the podcast. Look, this is gonna be part two. Hey, this is gonna be part 2 of the Bleached and Bothered podcast with Leila Halbert. Yeah, so you guys, if you listen to the last episode, you know that was the first half. It's pretty long. I think the first one was maybe an hour. I think the next one's maybe an hour and 10, maybe hour 15. Whatever. You guys said you wanted them longer, and this one's longer. All right? So I'm not going to beat around the bush. I'm going to get right into it. Okay? Intro, and then there's going to be the podcast, the meat and bones of the podcast, and then there'll be an outro. Now, the thing about that outro is I'm about to record it in about 30 seconds, but I'm making you think that I did it separately. Could you imagine if I did it legitimately as I recorded the intro, listened to the podcast in its entirety, and then came back like, oh, let's talk about that last one we just listened to together at the same time without taking breaks on Football Sunday. No, that's not how it works. I'm lazy. And that, you know what? That's not even true. I'm not even lazy. Work my ass off. Although I did get too drunk the other night, like too drunk. Like I was with the boys, and you know what? I didn't eat. And whenever you drink too much and don't eat, it means you double drank too much. And I spent all day yesterday wanting to kill myself. Now, does that mean I'm going to not drink for an extended period of time? Maybe. It could also mean I'm going to drink beers during the Hawks game at 10 a.m. today. I don't know. I don't want to just say things I don't believe in, all right? I don't want to make any false advertisements here. I'm just going to be me. Now, would it behoove myself and my body to take a little absentee ballot from the old booze bag? Yeah, that could probably be a good thing for me. Will I follow through with that? I don't know. Even if I'm saying I'm sober for a whole month, I'm really just one hot girl asking me to get drinks away from breaking that promise to myself. And that's my life, guys. That's just what I'm about. What I'm about? What I am. What I am about. Thank you for listening to Run It Back with Blair. See how, isn't that? It's so stilted. Not the news. I'm not an anchor. I'm just a guy with severe narcissism. Yelling into a microphone and a camera. Although, if you guys have noticed, I did finally change the settings on the camera, so now it looks crystal clear when I record. And the file sizes are way too big, and they're harder to edit, but they look better, right? No more grainy footage, except for the stuff that I'm going to post today, because that was shot on an iPhone in the dark. Not my call. Didn't do that. Not my podcast. But hey, anyway, let's get to it. This is the Bleached and Bothered podcast part 2. Wait, this is episode 117, Bleached and Bothered podcast part 2 with Leila Halbert. And myself. That's me. I'm Blair. Thank you for listening. The podcast is going to start in 3, 2, 1, hit.
The not caring about what people think, because, I mean, when I first started doing stand-up, it was, no one seen me do it. I'm doing open mics. I'm in a different city. I didn't know a single person in Chicago that knew me from here. They knew my parents, my family, anybody. They have no reference of me. I'm just a guy who's fucking trying to figure comedy out.
Yeah.
And then when I started doing the podcast, my listeners are people that know me.
Sure.
And people from here. And then people who know my dad and know my brother and know my mom. And my dad and my brother, they're plugged in. They're both coaches and teachers at Linden Christian and Linden, right?
Yeah.
So their coworkers, their friends will listen to the podcast.
You're kind of a wild card in your family.
Yeah, definitely the black sheep. And I was a little bit nervous at first because people people are idiots. They think it's funny to be like, hey, Ed, you want to see what your son said? And it's like, if he wanted to listen to it, he'd listen to it.
Sure.
So you don't need to go out there and start, well, Blair was talking about doing cocaine last weekend. And it's like, hey, how about you get fucked forever? That person who's like trying to like start you with me and my dad. That guy sucks. But I think now I've been doing it long enough where I can just say whatever I want. And people are like, oh, that's just Blair. They don't look at like my brother weird, my dad weird, my mom weird. Blair's he's just on his own little island doing his own thing, talking to nobody. And that's like, it's freeing because now I don't really worry about. Now that
and the more you do it, the more comfortable it gets, and the less like nervousness you have around. Like for me, like I was saying earlier, like the more you kind of start talking about things you haven't talked about before, like the more comfortable it gets, and the more like normal it is and should be. not just for yourself, but like other people. It's like we should be able to talk about sex and like what we like and what we don't like, and
like male butt play. I'm into that. Who's down for that?
Yeah, whatever.
Any
whatever
moms
your
out
flavor
there
is.
into who's got some plugs, whatever you want to put in me. Let's go. There's one mom like, I could go for that. Do you have any pictures?
Pictures
of me? Like if they're just listening.
Oh, got it. Yeah, I'll tag you in all the things. They'll know where to find you.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that I get in trouble for the most is just my language, just the words that I choose to use.
Yeah, we love the F word around here.
Yeah, fuck's pretty good, but like I mean, I'll go off the rails and say everything, and then I have like a running joke with episodes. I'm like, well, how long into the episode did I lose my mom? Like, because like Bonnie will turn it off if I say cunt too much.
Oh yeah, so, that's a rough one.
Yeah, so
probably should not use.
So
that
I don't
one
usually
here.
use it that often, but when I do use it, it's like oh hey, Bonnie, did I lose you? Bonnie, you out of here? All right, bye, mom. Because whenever she's like, you gotta stop doing that, I'm like, I'm just trying to get you off the pod, mom.
Oh yeah, that's how. I mean, my mom actually is the one who cares less. My dad is the one who really doesn't like the profanity. That was his first critique after the first couple episodes. He's like, do you have to swear so much? I'm like, first of all, yes.
He's gonna hate
and
this
second
episode.
of all, oh yeah, I'm for sure telling my parents not to listen to this.
Yeah.
My mom probably still will, but they both probably still will. Who am I kidding?
Your mom will love it. That's just gold.
But I'm just like, listen, it was you swear too much and you say like too much. I'm like, okay, well, I have to have one. So which one do you want?
Okay.
Fuck or like?
People who shit on
I can't help it.
Likes or ums or uhs. It's like, that's just how people talk.
Yeah.
I don't know a single person. You watch too much TV if you're mad that someone didn't give you a monologue. If someone started just giving monologues in every single thing they said and it was all perfect, it's like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
We all say we all say it too much. We all swear too much.
Well, and of course I've been a lot more conscious of it now that I've been doing it for so long. But sometimes when I listen back to episodes, I'm like, oh yeah, that was a lot. That was a lot, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But I mean, when you're having a conversation, I would rather something sound organic and flow well than to be like, oh shit, I can't say like anymore. Or like, fuck, now I'm conscious of it. God damn it.
Shit. Let it go. Who cares?
But you know what I'm trying to say? Like, it's better to have a free-flowing conversation, a good episode that's entertaining, than to be worried about how many fucking times you say like or fuck.
You don't ever want to get caught censoring yourself in the middle of a conversation, because then you're not being true and you're not being in the moment.
Bingo.
And then if you want to even call it magic, anything fun that's going to happen in a conversation is now stunted because you're worried about not saying like.
That's why I don't like use notes when I'm talking to people or having a more serious conversation or like a more like not serious, but more of an interview style episode with someone who's maybe, an expert on something or has a business they're wanting to share about or whatever.
Those are snooze fests.
I make them fun.
Interviews are lame.
But that's what I'm saying. I've tried a couple of different times, like writing out questions ahead of time and having notes and whatever. And anytime I've done it, it just is so... it doesn't sound authentic, and it's very just, I don't know, interrupted and like, oh wait, like, oh, what's my next question? Oh wait, I already asked you that. What's it? Like it's not for me. I don't do that.
Also,
I've been doing hair for almost 10 years. I know how to fucking talk to people.
Yeah. Well, it's also, but that's the thing about any good conversation is it's supposed to be two ways.
Yeah.
So if someone said, like, if you had told me you're going to come over here and interview me, I'd be like, what? I don't want to do that. Let's just fucking talk about whatever. Let's talk about saying like too much. And we'll talk about, I don't know, any like shitty ex-boyfriends or dating online. Because then it's got to be both ways. Like if you would ask me a question and I was like, oh no, I was fine. And then didn't ask you something because it's give and take. Gross.
We're having
El Ranchito today is really bad.
It's the Trulies.
I had El Ranchito today, and when you go to El Ranchito,
Dude,
you just smell like
El
it.
Ranchito sucks. I'm sorry.
You know what? It's not great.
There's like the restaurant scene in Linden is so bad. It's really, I mean, it's gotten better, I would say, maybe like a little, but then everything closes at 8 p.m. So
there's a food truck over by Dutch Treat. You know where the old Sanix is, the co-op?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Right behind the Linden Electric or whatever it is.
Sure.
There's this food truck right there, and I went there a couple days ago.
Is it Mexican?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was the best burrito I've ever had.
What would you know which one it was?
It was
which truck?
It was just the truck that's always there. It's always it's right across from the library.
Oh, I don't ever go to that part of town.
I mean, why would you? But you have the reason to go there now.
Great.
The Supreme Burrito, and like I'm a big food truck guy.
Is it the Burrito King?
No.
Okay.
It's just, it didn't even have a name. It was
Okay,
a white
one of
truck
those.
with a menu on
Okay,
it.
that's how you know it's good.
I used to live next to a place in Chicago, and it was this thing was open till, it was like a taco burrito place, and it was open till 4.
I finally stopped sweating, by the way, in case anyone was wondering. Thank you. It smells like berries.
Kind of nice, huh? You're welcome.
It smells like tequila.
I heat it up and I cool it down. Anytime. Come on, dude. Don't leave me hanging like that. Come on. Yeah.
I didn't see it.
You just go against your better nature to fist bump me.
What?
Women hate fist bumping.
I mean, I have a son, so he does it
He gets
all the
it.
time.
How old is he?
2.5.
Oh, I thought he was older. I was like 19.
Well, that wouldn't make any sense, would it?
I thought he was my age. What's happening?
I mean, he is big for his age for sure, but not that big.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, he loves Nux
He loves Nux.
and high fives.
Nux and high fives. That's the way to like a boy's heart, is just to like teach him some kind of handshake and be like, hey, all right, dude,
That
this is
kid
how we do it.
Is crazy. Like, he's already shooting hoops. He's got his little, plastic basketball hoop that's like, it's like
He's on the apps.
At a
He's-
legit
he's
height.
ghosting women in their 40s.
yeah, already. But no, he's super athletic already. He started walking really early. He definitely didn't get that from me.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, he never stops. He's like a pinball. Is that
Yeah.
what it's called? Yeah.
That works.
Yeah, I definitely see year-round sports in my future, which never thought I'd be saying those words, that's for sure. But yeah, he's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I want kids one day. I think kids will be dope.
Yeah.
Bo Cowan just had a kid.
Yeah, I saw.
And yeah, he had
His wife did my hair one time.
She's low as she's the MVP of everything. I love her.
Yeah, she's real sweet.
But he had a baby, and I've had this because I'm almost 30. I turned 29 in May, so I've had, because they talk about how women start to feel like baby fever.
That's the great thing about getting knocked up when you're not married by someone you hate.
Sure.
When you're 25, is that you don't have that anymore because you
Yeah.
already have the kid.
You did it.
Didn't have to get divorced or anything.
Fuck yeah.
Had to go through an abusive relationship, but that's beside the point. Anyway,
Got a sweet little baby angel out of it.
now I'm like on my way to 30 and I have zero, like, I don't feel like there's no clock ticking.
You did
I'm
it.
good.
You're ahead of the
I
game.
could maybe have one more if like the person I end up like begs me to have their child, but other than that, like
You turned your paper
I'm
in.
solid. So honestly, I don't recommend like having a kid with someone you hate, but I do recommend just having a kid, just let it happen and then you just don't have to worry about it anymore. Just kidding. Don't do that. But
Kids, you're making it sound awesome. I'm gonna go knock some chick up I don't love.
I also have just an awesome kid, so it's a little different. If I had a hellion, that'd be one thing, but
Well, he might
he's
still
great.
get there. It's pretty early. He can turn into an asshole pretty quick.
True.
I mean, like,
Knock on wood.
it's probably gonna happen.
I hope not.
Not like a bad, but like
He can be that way to his dad, not to me.
Yeah, you're his mom.
I'm his mom.
Yeah, you're his mom.
Yeah,
You
it's
fucking
different.
Beat his ass if he's a dickhead.
Okay. No.
No, you don't hit your kid.
No.
You don't just backhand with rings on.
No.
You don't just pull the cattle prod. Shut up. You don't do that. No.
No.
That's what I was raised with. I turned out okay.
Yeah.
No. No, I do want kids. I'm not gonna hit my kids. Probably. I'll hit my dogs. I'm kidding. I can hit my dogs. God. He hates dogs now too. God, I'm murdering on the pod. Usually this is so nice because I'm usually just doing this fucking alone and
I
I'm
know,
laughing by myself.
It's better to have somebody else's energy. I mean, if it's good.
Well,
Not
yeah,
if
I mean,
it's terrible, but
I've been talking about it for months that I need to have like a producer come and work on the pod, just to have someone in the room
Yeah.
while I'm doing it, just so I can bounce a little bit on.
Yeah.
I try to do, I don't know, like 30 to 40 minutes.
Yeah.
And,
That's a lot when you're by yourself. I've done probably, I don't know. I think I have like 40 something episodes out and maybe like 5 or 6 I've done totally by myself. Maybe more. I don't know. Not very many.
They're fun though. They're fun. I mean, it's a different skill too, because you're learning how to
Yeah.
keep something going. You're learning how to break down how you talk, and it's interesting because the cadence that you have to speak in when you're by yourself is at first so different than when you speak with somebody.
Yeah.
Because there's, you don't ever want to have there be too much dead air.
Right.
But you also don't want to do what I do, where I just fucking clutter 1,000 miles an hour, and I have to learn to slow it down. It's a speech impediment. No one cares. Yeah, I do that all the time. It drives me crazy because how people have like, stutters.
Sure.
They say the same. This is like a fucking stutter.
Yeah.
I have that, but it's like if you took all your words and printed them out with no spaces. And
I was just gonna say no spaces.
Yeah, that's how I do it. So like I've had to do a lot of work on trying to fix that and figure it out. And
well, I'm sure, especially when you're doing stand up too, everyone has to understand what you're saying. Obviously, if they're gonna get the joke,
it's a little bit easier with stand up because it's
written out
it's
beforehand.
Written, it's rehearsed. I've done it.
True.
So I know where I'm going. I'm
just trying to bring it back around.
No, I got you. I appreciate that. You can find me on YouTube, Blair Bummer. Over 100,000 views on one clip.
Wow, that's pretty good. Okay. All right. It's thumbs upping the camera for those of you listening. Okay.
Whenever you do something super lame like that, like stroke yourself off, you have to really just down to being a fucking idiot. Because it's like whenever somebody quotes a stat to you about themselves, it comes off super fucking lame. Like if someone's like, "It all has a 4.0 in college," it's like, shut up. No one cares.
Can't relate.
Eat dicks. Yeah, it's like whatever.
Like, what's the lowest possible GPA you can have to graduate high school? That's what I had.
Yeah, but
I'm doing all right.
Forget the shit.
I mean, I live with my parents, but it's fine.
I mean, yeah, living with your parents is kind of a sweet deal, though.
Yeah, I mean, if I didn't have a kid, this would not be my situation. But
hard to bang here, though. I bet
we can talk about that off the air.
I think the people want to hear about, because that's what I want to know about. Are you able to do it? Like, can you do it? I know you have, but is it like something where you only with the right guy?
All I'll say is that if there's ever company of the opposite gender in my home, in my room, it is not when my son is here. So that's all I'll say about that. Just to put that out there.
I mean, not like anybody's worried about you banging.
Well, nobody is worried about it except maybe, like, I don't know. I get really paranoid because my son's dad and I, like, we're not cool.
Sure.
And I can't block somebody from listening to a podcast. So, like, I'm always, like, thinking about, like, what is he going to hear that he might try to use against me?
Yeah.
So, just have to put that out there.
Sure. Okay. Well, now it's not as fun for me.
Well, you can say whatever you want.
Well, now I was trying just to pick your brain about how you bang at home when your parents.
Well, like I said, I'll tell you, but just not right now.
Okay. This is what you do. You know, when you have like a fat following, you put this on Patreon. So you want to hear about the good stuff?
That's what I'm talking about.
It'll be $10 a month.
That's right.
Or
breadcrumbs.
Or 4 T-shirts.
Yeah, breadcrumbs, baby. Share the podcast so we can get big enough to start a Patreon. It's not happening right now.
Yeah, it's never gonna happen. I mean, but not yet. I mean, shit happens. It builds slow.
I'm doing pretty well.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How many listeners do you have, do you think?
On average, it's like 150 a week on every episode, but I have like 11,000 plays total.
Fuck yeah.
So I've actually had some guests on that are like, they also have podcasts who are like way bigger than mine.
Ooh, like who?
So those episodes obviously get more plays. Have you heard of Chatty Broads?
No.
They are, so it's 2 girls. One girl was on The Bachelor, and then the other gal is just a friend of hers. She's great. We've become really good friends. But their podcast is massive. Like,
are they single?
They do no, they do.
They need guys named Blair.
I mean, honestly, I don't know. Anyway, they.
Hey, can you hit me up with that other podcast?
That would be the vibe. But
what do you mean? So they wouldn't like me?
I do actually have a friend that we can talk about off the air. That. Well, you're moving to Austin,
though. It's off the air shit about.
Well, if you're ever in LA again, I'll tell you. Because, listen, I've got things in the future I want to do, and I don't want to mess it up right now.
Well, you know what you could do? You know we could do this. I'll just put this out there. What we can do, that's like a joint venture here.
I have a really good story, but I can't tell it right now.
Well, what we do is we tell all the stories you want to tell.
Okay.
And then when we're done recording, save the MP3, MP4, whatever you have, send it to me, listen to it, and then mark all the things you want cut out. Send it to me because I do all the editing myself. So I can cut all that shit that you don't want in there out. And then if you don't like it or if it's funny, if we can use it, we use it. But if you want it out, we cut it out. And then we have a more cohesive podcast. Because I don't want to wait to hear about it. I want to hear all the good shit now.
Oh my God. Okay.
I'm just saying we could do that potentially.
Okay.
Yeah, come on.
Listen, we're already at an hour. I don't want to.
Is there a time max you put on these?
No, but it's one of those stories where you have to say the name or it's not, the story's not, it's cool, but like,
do I know the names?
You might.
Do I?
You might.
Say the name.
No.
Hey, write it down on a piece of paper. Right on your phone.
Here's the thing. I'm trying to get him on my podcast. That's why I'm not divulging any details. I'll tell you about it. It's a good story.
Okay. But I do want you to write the name down on my
Nope.
Just
I
write
don't
it
trust
down.
you. No.
Oh, come on.
No.
You don't trust me? It's your podcast. I'm not going to fuck your podcast up. It's not mine. It's yours. Trust me. Come on.
I swear to God. Okay, hold on, guys. Just 1 second. I don't know if you will. Maybe. How long were you doing shows in LA?
Not that long.
Not that long.
No idea who that is.
Oh, okay, great. Anyway.
Mr. McMillan.
Okay, that's enough.
I know who that is.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do.
You do?
I don't know him personally, but I know of him. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Did you guys bum fronts?
like I said, we're not talking about that right now. Anyway.
He's cute. He's a cute guy.
Oh my gosh, stop. Now I'm sweating again.
Okay, let's shift gears. Talk about when you and I matched on Tinder like 6 months ago.
No, that was like
A year ago.
That was a while ago.
When I was home last. It was when I was last October.
Yeah. Well, I feel whenever I see people I know, you have to swipe right.
Yeah, we matched. We talked about swapping some dirty things.
We talked about playing Scrabble, and it never happened.
Talked about playing Scrabble. Scrabble is code for 69.
Okay.
But then we decided that we were just too good of friends, and we didn't want to go down that path.
We did share a New Year's kiss one time, though. Remember that? No? Don't remember? That makes sense. You were pretty drunk. This was in probably 2013, 12, a while ago. We were like 22.
You with Stone that night?
No,
That was the house party, right?
at Emily's at the Shumways.
I do remember that.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
You followed me around until midnight
That's not true.
and did not give me another option.
That is 100%
It is
false.
100% true.
So we having the time where we're going to do the thing where your story and my story? Because I've never puppy dog anybody in my entire life.
Okay,
so it
that
would be
might be
against my character.
That might be an exaggeration.
Yeah, you exaggerated that. Now tell the
But
story.
it was okay. It was getting close to midnight, and I wasn't there with anybody. And like 2 minutes before midnight.
Oh, so it changed from me following
struck.
you around the entire night to now it was 2 minutes before.
Come on, I'm one for the dramatics.
But you're making me look like I'm like a like a creep, which is not what I'm like.
I mean, we both got to have a New Year's kiss. We didn't have to
Year's kiss.
stand there awkwardly, and it was fine.
Sure.
That was a long time ago. It was
I
like
don't know.
6 years ago. How old are we? 30,
Well,
28?
if it was
I don't know.
a nice memory, which I feel like it was a nice memory, then why would you just throw salt on it and shit on it like, you followed me around and it was fucking weird.
Because I'm trying to make myself sound cool, all right?
You were cool. What do you mean? That was a good time. It's unbelievable. Trying to trash my good name.
No.
I mean,
It's
she's
all
skipping
good.
the part about us having lots of sloppy sex that night. But
No,
whatever.
that didn't happen.
Oh, so we can. Well, if you're gonna lie, I'm gonna lie.
That's a little more of an exaggeration than what I said.
Oh, well, I was just trying to one up.
Okay, well,
So,
we're even now.
We see what happens. See, if you hadn't just made up that lie, then we'd be on the same page. It'd be a nice memory. But now we're both just making shit up. It's the Trulies.
Oh my god. Anyway,
New Year's kisses, though, I do think that they're not overrated. People think they're overrated. I think they're actually. I think they're always a pretty. Not always, but I think usually they're a pretty nice moment. Does
I
that
haven't
mean
had that
anything?
many.
Really?
Really? No. I've had a couple of just like it was like I was like with a guy I was dating, but we weren't like at a party. We were just
Those are
like
lame.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But yeah, no, haven't really.
Hey babe, make sure we kiss tonight.
Yeah, this doesn't
we can
count.
make out later. But
Yeah.
I don't even love you anymore. And then
Boo.
yeah, lame.
Yeah.
Monogamy is just too cruel a rule.
Okay.
Come on.
I mean, works for some people.
Yeah, no, I mean it's whatever. I don't think I'll ever get married, but
At this point, I don't think I will either, and I'm fine with that.
I think it's overrated. I think marriage is. I think because it's kind of.
I'm down for like a long-term partner who
Yeah.
I'm like committed to, but like
100%.
the actual like paperwork.
The paperwork. I mean, we can have a party and celebrate us, but that seems kind of lame.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not against it. Like I always tell people, like if I'm with somebody who's very adamant, like I want to get married, I want to do the whole thing. Fine, cool. I'm cool with that.
I think the move
But-
should be instead of a wedding, you get rid of the wedding. You still have like the bridesmaids, and you have the fucking what are the dudes called?
Groomsmen,
Grooms. Those twats. You have them come together.
groomsmen.
Yeah, that's what I said.
You said grooms,
What'd you say?
groomsmen.
But then you said twat.
Okay.
That was really rude of you. And on my podcast, I think next time you should just check your language when we're hanging out. That'd be really appreciated. Thank you
No
so much.
promises.
But yeah, here's the thing. Hear me out. I think this is a very good idea, and I think it's gonna start catching on very soon.
Okay.
So instead of a wedding, get rid of the wedding. But you have the reception, but no one's there except for the bridesmaids and the groomsmen.
Okay.
And then you just have an orgy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that happens. What? What is that face for? You didn't come up with this idea.
You gotta give me more than that. You can't just like genuinely look at it like, no, I'm sure that happens all the. No, I'm
But
clearly,
like, don't you think?
that joke just fucking bombed because I don't think you got it.
Sorry.
Come on.
This is where jokes come to die.
Can't leave me
I'm the
hanging
only
like
funny
that.
one here.
I need the validation. You know that. I need the laughs all the time. Otherwise,
Listen,
I have to go home.
Well, just kidding. I was going to say I've never had someone on who's funnier than me, but I probably have. That's a lie.
Well,
Lisa Mayberry is one of my favorite guests. She's real funny.
You know what? Lisa.
I love her.
I just followed her on Instagram because I was going through
You don't even
your-
follow me on Instagram.
Yeah, I do.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
No, I don't. You're right.
I know because this is how fucking petty I am.
Sure.
Because I followed you back when you were living in Chicago after I think Mr. Van Dalen posted some like radio interview that you did talking about like how you were doing stand up, and I was like, "Oh, haven't heard anything about Blair Bomber in a while. That's kind of cool." Like I always like to see people from around here who are doing something like different and out of the norm because I just feel like that doesn't happen very often. So whenever it does, I'm like, "Oh, that's dope."
Okay.
So
Followed.
anyway,
Waited till an hour into the
I started
podcast.
following you. You never followed me back. And then that's when I later down the road I reached out to you about coming on the podcast. Whatever. It still never happened. So I was like, "Fuck this guy. I'm unfollowing." But I figured after today we probably would be Instagram friends.
I think we're like best friends now. Pretty sure we are the best friends anybody could ever.
Well,
ask
the
for.
thing that's funny is like, I mean, I don't know if it's funny or if it's just a normal thing, but like in high school, like you definitely ran with like the popular crowd. You played sports. That's kind of everything in Linden. You were very good at them. I didn't do any of that, and I was a prude. So like we just were not in the same friend group. And then my sister was like more friends with the people in my grade than I was. So yeah, I mean, we never really, other than like our 7th grade relationship or whatever you want to call it.
That was a great 4,000 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, other than that, like we'd never really interacted that much. And then obviously after high school, like I don't really talk to that many people from high school.
That's kind of the cool
And
thing
then
about,
10
like,
years goes by and here we are.
Yeah, how's your last decade been? Oh, I made a person. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty much the most noteworthy. Oh my God, I'm drunk.
I do it all the time.
Noteworthy thing.
I love how you're just like hung up on messing up one time, and I've just cluttered 19,000 things in this podcast. Just did it right there. See? You just gotta. Once people adjust to the dialect, it's like adjusting for humidity. It's like, okay, it's fine.
But
now.
I can't get past it though. That's the problem.
I just push through. You gotta just, who cares?
It's okay.
No one gives a shit. I mean, they can listen or don't listen, like whatever. But I mean, it's funny because I spent a lot of time around your sister.
Yeah.
Because Lottie I think she had left Eastern by the time that I got there.
Yeah, she wasn't there long.
But she came back all the time, saw all the time, dated Josh for a while.
He who shall not be named.
And then, hey, he's the man. They're both
For
great.
you, yeah.
They're both great people.
Yeah,
I think so.
sure.
But you have to be on her side,
Of course.
and I have to be on his side.
Of course.
But I'm not on her side.
It's fine.
Whatever. Anyway, I've been to. We used to go to Lottie's place.
Yeah.
In Bellingham. We'd come back and party and go out in Bellingham and come
Yeah.
back. And do
Well,
the
she
whole thing.
lived with Laura Webb for a while. And yeah, I mean, I feel like all the girls in her grade and then like all the guys in our grade, like that's kind of like who the friend groups were.
Sure.
Because a lot of the girls that were in her grade were really athletic too, and that's kind of like
We were all
she kind
dating,
of
though.
just like
So
what?
like all of us started dating the girls below us.
Right. Whatever. I wasn't really that involved. I did go to Tolo. I think it was senior year with Ryan Cito. That was like a really big deal for me. But other than that, yeah,
He's the man. He's moving back to London. Actually.
I was not cool at all.
Yeah, being cool is subjective because I hated myself. Like I was, because all of the insecurity. Whenever I look back on like how I was to people in high school, it was like a lot of it was just you point the finger at somebody else to avoid people like shitting
Sure.
on you. So it's people, it's the oldest thing ever. It's like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, you hurt people. Like, that's all it is. So when I was just focused on a million different things, and you want to be liked so bad by everybody, and then if you don't get that, then you just turn the switch into like, well, I'll just be defensive then, and then I'll be mean to people. And like I've apologized to a number of people since high school that I've seen. Like,
We love to hear it.
You still suck. But everyone else, if I mean it, I'll apologize to them. This is my apology by coming on the podcast and giving you my presence.
Okay. I mean, I don't have any bad blood at this point.
That's
It's
what I
been
thought.
10 fucking years.
Did we have
Like,
any bad blood ever?
I don't know. I don't think so.
See,
I had more beef with like Jake Christensen, which he's fine. I've run into him, like whatever. And I shouldn't have said his first and last name. I'm sorry.
That's Jake Christensen.
Oh my God. No, he's a very nice fellow, but
He's a nice guy, also a piece of shit.
there was just one specific thing, bringing it back to that Tolo that I went to with Cito.
Jake called Leila a whore.
Okay.
And if you see Jake spit in his face.
I feel like you have to know about this. So I had this like whole elaborate, sorry to call you out, man, but it's happening. I had this, no one. I had this
Jake
whole
Christensen.
Oh my
She's
God.
calling out Jake.
I'm so sorry.
Jacob
I don't know why I'm apologizing.
Winston Christensen.
Okay. Anyway, I had this whole elaborate plan of how, because that's what you do when you ask somebody else to a dance. You have to do like something like, like corny. So I had this whole elaborate plan to ask Cito to go to this dance or whatever. And I had like filled his car with balloons and like done all this other shit. Well, Jake had the bright idea to move everything out of Cito's car into somebody else's car before he had a chance to see it.
Sure.
I was obviously mortified and pissed. And I like told my mom about it, and my mom got crazy and like called his mom, called the principal. It was a whole thing.
Gotta get the principal
And so,
involved. That seems like one of his jurisdictional things.
yeah, after that, I was a little salty, but
You
I've
know what
gotten
we
over
should
it.
do? We should stop the podcast right now. Take that guitar, go to his house. I know where he lives, and beat the living shit out of him. And then we won't tell him why. We just fucking beat. Then he's unconscious. Then we blow up all the balloons and leave him in his room. And we say Happy Tolo 2009.
Fuck you.
Fuck yeah.
I'm
Well, I
just
mean,
kidding.
he'll get the fuck you because his head will be busted open with the guitar and stuff. But I think it's never too late for revenge.
Oh my God. No, it's fine. We have no bad blood. Like I said, I've run into him. Everything's cool. I'm sure he's changed since then.
But
We all
what
have.
she means to say is, Jake Christensen, fuck you.
Oh my God. I feel so bad now.
This is my favorite part of the podcast. I'm
Anyway.
gonna text him right now. Hey, Jake.
No,
dude,
please don't.
fuck, dude. Layla hates you, and I was on your side. I tried to defend you. Jake Christensen lives at 307.
No, I don't hate anybody. Well,
Yeah, I mean,
that might be a lie, but
That's not true. You hate some people. Everyone hates somebody. But like,
how on brand is it for our class that our 10-year reunion just got totally tanked? And
mean-
like even before Corona was like a hot mess anyway. I feel like that's very on brand.
I was looking through my yearbook recently and seeing who might be single, and who wants to, maybe.
I was fully planning on going and like
Yeah.
being the life of the party.
I'll go stun on people. I don't care.
I'm a little disappointed,
I got a
but
bald head and fake teeth. Who wants to do some sit-ups in the bathroom?
for old time's sake.
Come on. It is. Yeah, I have hooked up with some people from high school, like that I grew up with, and then probably like 4 or 5 years after graduation, just like I'd come home, you see random people,
Yeah.
and when you're in high school, you don't like either you're with somebody, you're not with somebody, but you don't really like. It's hard to hit on your middle school crush in high school. You know what I mean? Like, I remember I was like had the biggest crush on a girl all of elementary school.
Yeah.
And then in middle school still, and then got in high school, just give up on it. Started
Sure.
dating somebody else, and then never really thought about it again. And then 6 years later, you're drinking and they're there. And then this one girl like put it on me like hard, like tough. And part of me, even though I wasn't seeing anybody, but I wasn't also that into her at the
Yeah.
time, part of
Yeah.
me was like, Blair, do it for fucking third grade you. Because third grade you wants you to get in there and mix it up. And I didn't. I was a nice guy. Saw her running today, though. Hope she's doing okay.
Oh, I can't wait to hear about who it is. See, we both have things
It's
we can...
Jake Christensen.
Okay.
That's who I'm talking about. Jake
Oh
Christensen.
my God. Jesus, I feel so bad now. I'm sorry.
It's so perfect. But I've had people that I went to high school with that I didn't, because you don't even know how much you impact other people negatively.
Yeah.
Because you're always in your own world.
Yeah.
So I've had people come up to me, a couple years after graduation that I saw, and they were like, "Hey, you were like really mean to me," and I was like, "Wait, really?" They're like, "Yeah, no, you like I was like." Really sad in high school because of things you said to me in class. I was like, oh, whoa. Because I don't know. I'm an idiot. I'm like a dumb fucking 17-year-old, 18-year-old piece of shit. And it's no excuse.
You have your own stuff going on too.
Yeah, and you're focused on your other shit. You don't know how you're impacting people you see 1 hour a day.
Yeah.
And then you see it, and then it's like, I would go there, and I'm like, hey, look, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry if I, like, that's not cool. It's never cool. Like, you can't double down on that either. You can't be someone who's 30, like, oh, yeah, actually, still fuck you.
Actually, you're wrong. I didn't do that. It wasn't my intention, so you're not allowed to feel that way about it.
I always feel bad about that stuff. Like, if it doesn't matter who it was. I mean, there's some people I'm like, hey, no, fuck you forever. But some people, it's, you're kind of you're a prisoner of the moment when you're 17. You think that's all that matters. Is that.
I mean, I for sure have had that happen too. I mean, it's happened on this podcast. People I've had on that, I've known since high school, and they're like, oh, by the way, there was this one time when you said this or did this, and it was really fucking rude. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Tell me, who did that?
The one I'm thinking of specifically is
Jake Christensen.
Justine McMillan. She's been on the podcast a couple times. We're good friends now.
McMillan.
Yeah.
Is that her husband's last name?
No, she's not married.
Wait,
she has McMillan, yeah.
I remember who
Justine. She used to hang out with like Jason Morgan.
Thinking of, I don't know. I don't know.
Anyway,
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Fuck
like
her anyway.
Oh,
moving on.
No. We love her. We love her.
I don't like her.
She's for sure listening to this.
Hey, Justine, how are you?
Like things like that where I'm just like, I either have no recollection because obviously it didn't affect me the same way, or it was just one of those things where, we all have our fucking insecurities, especially in high school. Like, we're all figuring it out, and it takes a while.
Yeah, I feel bad for people that don't grow, because while I do appreciate people that are the same person, like their personality, like they're at the core, like the essence of them is they've been the same since that.
But
you can hope that maybe they grow a little bit, maybe a little more
self-aware.
Yeah,
perhaps
they want to figure it out. But I mean, look, if you're not having anything, like having a kid, that's going to change your perspective on pretty much everything.
Totally.
So you have been, that happened to you, and you dealt with it, and you figured it out, and now I think you probably say it's the best thing that's ever happened to you, right? Having your son is the best thing in your life, probably, wouldn't you say?
Yes.
You're like,
yes.
No, I hate him. I actually hung him out to dry yesterday.
I think it depends on the context of, the conversation or the situation.
He's gonna listen to this and be like, Mom, you don't love me?
Of course I do. Come on.
He's probably.
But I'm not.
Like,
I try to be pretty straight up about things. Like, obviously, like, there's things about the situation that I wish were different, but the timing of it all and like who he is or who he's becoming, like as his own little person, it's like it kind of, you just kind of forget about all the shitty stuff.
Yeah.
And it's fine. And like I said, like I'm kind of glad that it happened the way it did. Like if I could go back and, write my own story and things are going to happen exactly how I wanted them to, they probably would have looked a little bit different. But like I said, like I was 25 when I got pregnant. I had done a lot of traveling. I had been running my own business for years. I had done a lot of things. And so it wasn't like I was like, in a way, even though it was unplanned, I was almost kind of ready for it in a weird way. And then just like not having the pressure of like having to raise my son with another person, like my parents helped me out, but like I can admit that I am a little bit of a control freak. And if I would have had to, like, I feel like being a single parent obviously has a lot of things that are hard about it. But for me personally, it was kind of nice to not have to fucking worry about someone sleeping in my bed when I was pregnant.
Sure.
And, and then like, I get to kind of do things the way I want to do them. And then when he goes to his dad's, it's kind of what it is over there. And that comes with its own like anxieties and stuff because I can't control what happens when he's there.
Smoke cigarettes and look at porn. It's like doing dad stuff.
But it's we collaborate on things when we have to, but otherwise the communication is pretty minimal. So I get to kind of I get to kind of have my thing with him, and I think it would be a lot harder to, people who are married and have kids. Honestly, to me, from my perspective, that seems a lot harder because it's like you can't just like do whatever you want with the kid and do things your way, and the other person isn't going to have an idea about it, like whether you agree or not. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like,
well, you would assume that if someone's married and they're having a kid, they're doing it as like a team.
Of course, but there's always going to be something that you disagree on, or that one person is going to want to do a certain way and the other person might do it differently, and then there's going to be annoyances and whatever. Like, I don't have to deal with any of that. There are little things like I have to kind of be a little more strict with my mom. Like, hey, I know you're grandma, but also I need you to back me up on certain things.
Sure.
But that's totally different. But
like if he's smoking weed,
I'm not trying to like glamorize like being a single parent by any means,
you're making
but
it sound pretty cool. I kind of want to do it. I'm gonna go steal me a kid.
I don't know. I try to like make the best of every situation. So that's kind of what we're doing here.
All you can do. And
Yeah.
again, that's like, it really is like a survival technique. It's what you're doing.
Totally.
It's the reason that you're able to grow and see things differently, where some people just stay in one state of mind their entire life and they never grow and they never get any, not that they get worse or better, but they do stay in the same exact spot. And so I like seeing people like that in my life because it's like, oh, that's refreshing. Like you aren't, because living in Chicago, most liberal place in the world. Moving to fucking LA, most liberal place in the world. And it's a lot of his people, and I'm as liberal as they come, but like when people are just like constantly like shouting at you, telling you what's wrong with you, it's like, I kind of just want to hang out with fucking Jake Christensen and just drink beer and Trulies and hang out and talk about how much we hate Layla and how we were really happy that we actually came together on that. Was my plan actually. And I was like, hey, Jake, let's get all the balloons out and she'll never know it's me. Hey, take this one from me and she'll hate you for 10 years.
Here we are.
Hey.
The truth always comes out eventually. So
thanks to the Trulies. You tired of me yet?
Oh wow, the Trulies, the truth. Wow.
Yeah, that one bombed.
I guarantee someone listening thought it was really funny. You just can't hear them laughing.
We crashed 4 cars right there. That's 4-car pileup. Off the Owen Wilson. Wow.
Oh my god. Oh, okay, so you're moving to Austin like soon.
Yeah.
Do you have a living situation set up? Do you know anybody there? Emily Shumway lives there.
Yeah, I talked to her a little bit while I was back.
She kind of dabbled in stand-up for a hot minute. I don't think she's doing it anymore,
I think she asked me about it, and I told her, you just got to go get up, and then she just didn't like what I had to say about it. I was like, hey, I got to give up. You got to suck.
Yeah.
You go up there and just eat dicks every night and just get really, and be bad and be cool with failing, and then it's
like a podcast. It's a long game.
Yeah, but there's not just 8 strangers
But this is more
like,
comfortable.
what are you doing? We just like shepherd people from off the street. Hey, come, you're at the park. Let's do a podcast.
Yeah.
For an hour and a half.
That'd be fun.
It would be kind of cool. Live podcast would be dope. But yeah, I mean, I'm going to go back to LA, get my shit, and then drive out there. My plan was to be heading there by October 1st. I'm on a lease until the end of October, so I'm not in a super hurry.
Okay.
But
I'm going to LA next weekend.
Yeah, it's nothing to do. What are you going to do?
Podcast.
Who are you going to podcast with?
I am going to podcast with the guy who made my music for the show. He lives in LA. And then with, do you know who Gabby Lamb is?
I do know who Gabby Lamb is.
Yeah, I'm going to podcast with her.
Gabby Lamb is actually friends with that girl I told you about that I was dating in LA.
Oh, yeah.
Her
and I have kind of become friends.
Hell yeah.
And then...
How do you guys know each other?
Through
Orgies?
other mutual people.
Glory holes? Nice.
Possibly the one I already told you about.
Oh, yeah, because they're all common.
Shh. We'll talk about it later.
No,
anyway.
By the way, you could say that name on the podcast right now, the guy that you told me about earlier that wrote on my phone that I could totally out.
Yeah.
No one knows who that is.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to get him on the show, so I don't want to be like talking shit and then him like somehow hear it and be like, fuck you. Anyway.
When you talk to him and get him on the podcast, you get to lie about your numbers. You got to beef him up.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Getting like, 50,000 listens a week.
But yeah, a couple other people that I've just have kind of like found on Instagram that I think are cool and are doing cool things.
So what do you do? You hit him like, I have a podcast. You want to come on and hang out?
Yeah, pretty much.
And yeah, that's like the...
You just slide into the DMs, and the worst that can happen is they ignore you or say no.
Comics, we love talking. So if you put us on a podcast, like it's and we can't do stand up right now.
I tried to get Michael Yo on the show because we have a couple mutual friends.
Sure.
And he just read my message and didn't respond.
Yeah, he did Rogan twice. He's probably not going to come do this.
I mean, listen, like I said, the worst that can happen is they ignore you or say no. I had to shoot my shot.
Yeah, I mean, I shot my shot with Johnny Sins the other day.
I don't think I know who that is.
He's a porn star. Looks just like me.
I mean, keep trying.
Do you watch porn?
Not a lot, but sometimes, yeah.
It's so interesting to me how passive women are about porn. Like you'll say it like it's a sweet. Like every now and then if I'm in the mood, I'll have a nice little jaunt with some porn.
I mean, personally, like if I'm, trying to just like get off, like I don't.
You just find a dude?
No. No.
Hop on Tinder?
I know myself.
We went to high school together.
I know myself well enough to where like all I need is 5 minutes. Like I don't need to ramp myself up by watching anything or like anything. It's not like that for me anyway. For other people maybe, but
yeah, I like to take a good 45 minutes out of my day every day, twice a day.
Well, you don't have a job right now, so
I make T-shirts. They're really popular.
Okay, well, I have a kid and I work full time, and I do a podcast, and I sell art. So
and I have a podcast. And it's called Run It Back with Blair Balmer. That's me on YouTube, Spotify, SoundCloud, and iTunes. Fuck Stitcher.
Oh my god.
Shameless plugs only.
Okay, well, we're hitting almost an hour and a half.
You tell me when you want to leave.
I knew this was gonna happen.
Because I can talk forever. So so I'll let you put the brakes on it whenever you want.
We do a little segment on this show, hence the name Bleached and Bothered, where we each will share something that we are bothered about or like are annoyed about or just like a pet peeve that you might have or something. I'm sure
one?
I was going to say, I was going to tell you about this ahead of time, but I was like, there's not going to be a problem.
No, I can probably figure this one out.
Well, I'll go first because I have something fresh in my mind. Like I said, once this episode comes out, it will have been weeks ago. I will have gotten over it, but right now I'm not over it. So I'm bothered.
Go.
When you live with other people, maybe
parents?
Specifically your parents.
Is this a parent gripe?
Yes. I'm not going to disclose which one. You'll just have to guess. But
hilarious. I'm sorry to cut you off, but hilarious power move to be living in your parents' house and then make your bothered thing about your parents.
Oh, it's not the first time. I'm not shy about the fact that I'm kind of a diva. It's fine.
Mom and Dad, fuck you.
No, I love them to death, both of them.
But I'm gonna shit on you right now.
But that's the thing is like, especially after you have a kid, your parents kind of become more like your peers. And so they kind of feel more like roommates than they do my parents. But it's like having roommates that you really love anyway, and you can't get rid of. Besides the point.
Gotcha.
But something that really annoys the shit out of me is that I cannot have I'm not a food sharer unless I like offer to share food or like if I like order pizza and like, yeah, sure, I'm not going to eat 2 pizzas by myself, like have some. But like otherwise, like if I have like leftovers or I've gone out and like bought something special that wasn't in like the group grocery haul, I don't like to share.
Sure.
In this house, if I don't write my name on something I don't want to share, it will disappear. It might not be there the next day. It will be gone because somebody will eat it. And that might not seem like that big of a deal, but when you go out of your way to go to the mall to get the best chicken teriyaki and you purposefully get extra so that you can have it for lunch the next day, and then you're so excited about eating it, and then you go in the fridge and you realize you've forgotten to write your name on it, and then it's not there, and sure enough, someone got to it less than 12 hours after it was put in the fridge because you didn't write your name on it. It's very disappointing.
Do you want me to go downstairs and say something to your parents? I'll go down there
right now. I already did.
I'll go down there right now. I'll swing on your mom, dude. I don't care. It's not my house. I'll swing on her hard. Teriyaki. We're not playing with teriyaki, mom. If you take my teriyaki, mom,
oh my
I'm going to
God,
headbutt you.
I was so excited. And then like the disappointment of opening the fridge and realizing what had happened, I can't tell you, especially after like coming home from work and being like so hungry. I'm like, oh my God, I can't wait to eat this chicken teriyaki.
Yeah.
It's gone.
That's kind of like,
well, there was no name written on it. I'm like, well, you didn't buy it.
that's like spending $15 on an Uber to go have some good sex, and then she leaves you in the cold for 30 minutes. You have to take another Uber to get back home, and then you have to beat up by yourself. I get that. It's the same thing. Same gripe.
Sure.
That's the same. No, Layla, it's the same thing. Okay, chicken teriyaki, stolen leftovers. That's the same.
Yeah, but you can still go home and like take care of yourself. At that point, it's like, well, there's no. I can't
take care of yourself. What do you mean?
I can't just make chicken teriyaki.
What do you mean take care of yourself?
What you said.
About what?
About
what's that supposed to mean?
Stop. Don't
just say beat up.
No,
it's hilarious.
You did it.
That was the most mom way. So you went home to take care of yourself. And
I'm a mom now.
You are a mom now, but I'm also not your son. So we can say jerk off.
All
it's
right.
okay.
Anyway, and it's
I
not
feel
like
like
there's
you're
any.
a little bit hamstrung by the fact that your parents listen to this podcast. You gotta shoot at the hip, okay?
It's not just my parents, but okay.
Well, I mean, just more. There's more beat off material. Women love that. Talk more about beating off, Leila. We love it.
I'll get there one day.
Yeah, it's
Baby steps.
Yeah, I mean, you're episode what, 50? What episode are you at?
I think this is 45 or 46.
Hell yeah.
Depending, I don't know. I haven't decided if this is going to be the season opener or if I might.
This has got to be.
I don't know.
season
It's
2.
pretty good.
This is the season 2 premiere.
It's pretty good. I'm not going to lie.
It'll just be a random.
There's
episode of my
definitely going to be
podcast,
people who see your name and be like, "Oh shit."
but I gotta hear what this stupid douchebag.
But I
is
think
talking about.
I think they'll be pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, I'm a good hang.
Yeah.
I'm a good hang.
Yeah.
I'm super well read.
Well,
And
and
I'm
like
well-spoken.
I mean, not to get like serious again, but like you were saying earlier, like fucking people change, and if they don't, you know, fuck them. I don't know, but unless they were cool to start with.
Well,
but
I mean, look. Here's the thing: is when you deal with enough people that suck, you go through like bad breakups or fucking bad bosses or bad friends. You do kind of like you see those patterns and you try so hard to not replicate them in your own life.
Yeah.
So things that I saw myself when I was younger, I saw those from other people as I got older. And then kind of made I was like that. If I was like that, I can't be like that ever again. So
Yeah.
it's those things where you want to believe you grow out of them, but not everybody does.
yeah.
And definitely not everybody talks about it on the podcast. But that's what we got us for, because we're here just to spill it all.
Just a couple of trailblazers, baby.
We're out here we're just breaking new ground, talking about shit that people don't really care to listen to, but they got nothing else to do on the ride to work.
Oh, I love it.
So what am I bothered by? I get really upset. Okay, this is good. This is recent. I was seeing this girl. This woman, seeing this woman. She's a nice woman. Not a lady, nice woman. And she got so mad at me for trying to reuse a condom. And I was like, babe, this is what
okay, are you being serious?
Wait, we're supposed to be serious?
Yes.
Okay.
It has to be a real thing.
Has to be a real thing?
Yes.
Okay.
A real thing.
Okay.
No bits.
I'm just kidding. I don't wear condoms.
Okay.
Anyway, I do. Unless it's anal.
We've gone over
and
this.
I don't have to. Anyway. Something that bothers me.
It doesn't have to be anything serious. It can be like
you just said it can't be a bit, so it has to be somewhat serious.
No, I mean serious in the way of like, you know, like
not fake.
Like too deep. Like it can just be like, I don't know,
It can be shallow.
looking at other people's toenails. I don't know. Like
Okay.
it can be whatever, but
It can be whatever. You should have prepped me for this, but luckily, I can improvise.
I felt like
I went to Second City. Okay. I paid a lot of money.
You've trained 2 whole years for this.
I trained. It was more like 14 months, and I saw this is too much money, and I'm not learning anything anymore, so I quit. And it's a whole scam. Don't go back there, but go to the bar. That's where I worked.
Okay.
At the bar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. Okay.
You were supposed to be thinking of one while I was sharing.
But I was
mine.
listening. I can't think. I can't do both.
Yeah,
I'm
you
trying
can.
To be,
Don't
trying to be a
don't
good
sell
listener.
yourself short. You
I was
can.
trying to. What were you talking about again? I forget what you were saying. You said something about shoes.
No.
Okay, I will say this. So going back, we talked about the apps earlier and dating and the back and forth. And you know what drives me absolutely insane is, so a friend of mine, Jake Christensen, his girlfriend Laura, who I love, it's my boy Jake. I love Jake. His whenever if you're a guy, one of your guy friends' girlfriend is, the job of that girl is, if you're, I'm single, and I'm like, hey Laura, what's up with your single friends? And that's usually met, I would say 98% of the time with, they're all just like married and whatever. Because they don't want to like.
Which in Linden is probably true.
Pretty true. But Laura's like the best. She's the fucking OG. I love Laura. She starts just naming people. You could try
She
her. And I was like, okay, cool.
Did you know I dated her older brother?
Steve?
Mm-hmm.
Steve's got kids.
Yep.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Shout out Steve. We called him Daddy Steve.
Rip. That was a long time ago.
Can't imagine
anyway.
what you called him. Anyway.
Wasn't like that. Trust
Wasn't
me.
like
I was
that.
a prude in high school. Remember?
Prude in high school. Only
Dry humping only.
Only blowjobs.
No, not even that.
Just the occasional spit in each other's faces.
Yep.
Anyway, back to what I was saying, which is super cool.
Sorry.
But she named a couple girls for me and she said,
Yeah,
hey,
yeah.
like these are their Instagrams, check them out.
Yeah.
And I'm not afraid to hop in a DM. I'll do it. I
Sure.
don't care.
Same.
I'll always shoot my shot.
Yep.
I have to. I don't care. What are they going to say? No. Okay. Well, goodbye then. That's it, I guess. So she sent me a couple of different girls, and one girl, I followed me back immediately, and everything I post, fucking in the first 5 minutes, liking it. Which, as far as like language goes, of like unsaid,
That's an invitation.
Said unsaid, right?
Yeah.
So I, hop in the DM. I say something cute. I throw a little GIF. I love throwing GIFs. I'm a big GIF guy. But it's got to be. It's not just a GIF. It's like I say something corny, probably something that no one likes. I'm not as good in the DM.
Wow, this sounds really promising.
Well, I mean, like what I would usually do, like if
Really effective.
Well, back when you'd go to bars, I think you'll like this. Tell me what you think about this. This is what I say at bars to women.
Okay.
I'll come up to it's a total stranger.
Okay.
I'll come up to her and I'll approach her and I'll say, "How open to being hit on are you right now?" Because most of what you see people at bars is trying to figure out.
I like it.
Right?
Yeah.
Because you're trying to figure out if they're single or not. That's all of it.
Yep.
And if she says, if I ask that, I'm going to get one of three things. I'm going to get, I have a boyfriend. I'm not interested in you. I like your face. I don't like your face. So I'm not interested in being hit on. Or 3, which is what you want, I'm pretty open. And then you have the conversation and you go from there. It's harder to do that in a text. It just sounds, it doesn't look the same. The vibe's different. The energy's way off.
Yeah.
So I'll say something.
But it's better than just, hey.
Right. I don't do that. I will try and be, I think.
Can you tell I'm bothered by a lot of things?
Yeah. I can tell we've all been quarantined. Everyone's just gone through all the throes of dating online. It's a fucking disaster. But I think I sent her I think I said something around something like, do we agree that are GIFs overrated or something lame?
Yeah.
And I sent like a cute,
Sure.
I think I sent Lionel Richie. Hello. And it's just him grabbing the phone. Hello.
Okay, that's kind of funny.
It's funny.
Yeah.
Bread. Scene. Put it on scene. Now I'm like,
I mean, to be fair, like if someone did that to me, I don't know if I would know how to respond.
Well, I asked the question.
I would have just sent a question mark, like, what's up?
I said, like, what do you think? Like, do you think that GIFs as an opener are overrated?
Oh, you actually said that?
Yeah, I said that.
Oh, and then you sent it.
And then sent
got it.
hello, the Lionel
got
the funny GIF. And usually you'd get either, I think that would warrant a response. I'm asking a question.
Sure.
And it's clearly a hello that's better than saying, hey, stranger, I don't know you at all.
Yeah.
So, scene. And I'm like, okay. So when I get seen, my next move that I do is I'll leave it alone for like a day or whatever.
Unsend so they get the notification.
No. I'll do it on Instagram. I only do it on Instagram. I then send the Homer Simpson when he fades into the bushes.
Oh, that's a good one.
So and then I've done that and they've been like, oh, I didn't see this or sorry, I got busy. And it's usually a lie. But so look, I'm thinking we followed each other. We went back and forth. And then I said, you know what I said? Left me unseen.
Mm-hmm.
And that's fine. I sent the Homer Simpson again, left unseen. And
you gave up at that point.
Well, of course I gave up.
Okay.
But she's still liking every single thing I post.
Okay,
after
that's
that.
confusing.
Right?
Yeah.
Just unfollow me.
Yeah.
And I'll unfollow you and we'll be good. But like, why are you still liking my? I said what's up. I did my piece. I did my part. And now you're just gonna give me.
Weird.
Isn't that weird? That shit pissed me off. Her name's Kylie. I'm kidding. Her name's Jake Christensen.
Oh my god, poor Jake.
No, but I hope her name. I love saying full names on podcasts because it's like I hope it gets back to them. Her name's Kylie King. Kylie, you broke my heart. What's going on, babe? You seeing someone? Can I get a little?
Yeah, maybe she like had like a guy that she had been on a few dates with that like she was like feeling good about, but like also was like kind of keeping people on the back burner. Maybe you were on the back burner. You just didn't know.
I don't take it personally.
I'm just saying.
I mean, I get it. I just hope.
I'm confused by it, so I'm trying to figure out what's going on.
Doesn't make any sense, does it? It's like rationally, it's like unless she's with somebody, but I was given the third party said, pretty sure she's single. Which was just my whole thing of.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like someone that's not serious enough to like completely ignore someone, but like serious enough to like feel weird about like DMing back and forth, but like liking all your pictures anyway. I don't know. Who knows?
I also can't it doesn't matter.
Women are weird.
I'm gone in a week or 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So for me, I shoot all the shots I can while I'm home. And if they're out on it, they're out on it. But I'm also, I went on a date with a nice girl the other night. It was very nice.
Oh, you
We
did?
went on a nice date.
From around here?
From around here, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Tell you about it after we turn the mics off.
Can't wait.
No, but we went on a date, and she was fucking. I told her kind of that same story I just said about the other girl.
Sure.
I was like, yeah, the whole back and forth, and she was cool. And that girl, she was awesome. We had a good time. I'll probably try and see her again, but I'll be gone before. I don't think she's gonna fuck me anytime soon. So I'll probably just like. But I like the connection of going on a date with somebody, even if I know it's not gonna end.
Well, and if you have a good conversation, and it's like, I mean, there's nothing wrong with having someone nice to look at, and like if you have some sort of chemistry, even if it doesn't go anywhere, like it's not a bad time.
Yeah, you don't need to be stuck on the outcome-driven mentality.
Sure.
Like, if we don't fuck it, it sucked.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sweet.
I
Well,
thought you were trying to wrap this up. Trying to wrap this up?
I think that's a good note to end. I really have to pee.
Oh, don't be so soft. I can vamp while you go pee. You wanna keep going for two more hours?
I think maybe not.
Actually, I think I'm gonna ask you to leave. This has been fun. Also, goodbye.
Well, I'll have to, once you get settled in Austin, it's my favorite city, so maybe I'll have to come for a visit and we can do part 2 somewhere down the line or something.
Hell yeah, no, but for real, this was a blast. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah.
Good to reconnect after a decade.
Right? I know, I love it. Thanks for being here.
My first breakup. I'm still fucking
again for the 10th
off.
time. You can find Blair on Instagram at, what's your handle?
Blair Bomber.
Pretty easy.
But then you can find Go.
You can find his podcast, Run It Back, on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, right? No?
Fuck Google Play.
Oh,
fuck Stitcher.
Oh, sorry. That's mine.
SoundCloud, YouTube, Spotify, iTunes,
whatever.
and fuck Stitcher.
You'll figure it out. I'll tag you in all the things, put you in the notes. It'll
Love
be
it.
cool.
Do you do a sign off?
Not really. Kind of just like say thanks for listening.
Oh, can I do a sign off then?
Make sure you go rate the podcast, leave 5 stars,
Rate,
write a
review,
review.
subscribe. There you go.
Words of affirmation are my #1 love language, so please write an actual review. They make my heart real happy.
Yeah, get those 5 stars going, and also fuck Rudy.
Rudy?
That's a thing on my podcast.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know.
Like Rudy from the movie Rudy.
Yeah, what's wrong with Rudy?
Oh, he's a liar.
Okay, this is for next time. Breadcrumbs. Okay, well, thank you again for being here and for keeping us all entertained for almost 2 hours. This is good. This is good times.
We killed it.
Yeah, crushed it.
Hell yeah. All right.
This is the Bleached and Bothered podcast. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll talk to you next Friday. Bye.
Fuck Rudy.
All right, that's it. That's the pod. Pretty good episode, right? Don't forget to check me out on YouTube, Instagram, Spotify, SoundCloud, and not Stitcher, because fuck you, Stitcher. And I know I mumbled at the very end of the last podcast, but I want you to know I did sign off her podcast with fuck Rudy. Because I'm committed to the grand, guys. The grand? I'm committed to the brand. The caffeine hasn't kicked in yet, okay? Don't judge me on this stuff alone, all right? Okay? Good? There we go. We did it. Check out Leila's podcast, the Bleached and Bothered podcast. You can find that on YouTube. No, you can find hers on iTunes and Spotify. Maybe Stitcher. Maybe Google Play. But for me, you guys know where this is at. Spotify, iTunes, all that good shit. So, thank you for listening. And if you turned it off, if you didn't even get to this part of the podcast, the outro, we gotta fight. We go bare knuckles. I'm gonna fucking no wraps. I'm just gonna fucking stretch out a little bit. Talking to you, Josh. God, I fucking beat your ass, Josh. I hope you're fucking sitting alone right now, eating a cookie, thinking you can probably kick my ass, but you can't. No one beats my ass but me. All right, we did it. Cool. Episode 117. That was it. We did it. Until next time. Eat shit. Mwah.